Ayeshah Syed. I'm a senior lecturer at the Faculty of Languages and Linguistics at UM, and I'm also the Deputy Dean of Research, Value Creation and Enterprise. Okay, so I'm a discourse analyst, which means I study human practices by looking at language and interaction. So the research I'm going to talk about is a study in dental education that uses storytelling as part of a strategy to improve empathy among dental students. So actually this wasn't my project. It started out by my friend Dr. David Young, and I was a co-researcher, and then when he left the university, this became my project, and I had just joined the university. So our task was to pair together some dental students with older adults, and the dental students were supposed to interview the older adults and create this visual life story biography. So the idea is after they talk to the older adults, they'll have a better understanding of their lives, their perspectives, and this should improve their empathy. So why we wanted to do this is because it's been found that with dental students or healthcare students, their empathy actually reduces throughout their time in the medical or dental education program. So this is not good because they're going to need to be empathetic when they're dealing with patients, and especially older patients. So we wanted to try this approach, this narrative storytelling approach, to see whether it would work. But it actually happened during the pandemic. So we had to figure out how to do this very interactional type of study, but remotely in the early days of the lockdown. So I think that was a very interesting experience for me. We managed to get older adults to meet with the dental students. Both groups were great. Some learned how to use Zoom, some were taught by the dental students how to interact, and then the students interviewed them and came up with their life stories. So we actually came up with a book, and based on the feedback from the students and the older adults, they found the experience very eye-opening. A lot of the students had never talked to any older adult outside their own grandparents. So this gave them an idea about how it might be like when they're practicing dentists. Yeah. Actually, one interesting moment I think was meeting them after a year. We had never met physically, and we had a book launch, and all the older adults, except for one who was in hospital, actually came for the book launch here at the faculty. And although we think it's a small thing, it's a research project, one of many research projects, it was actually very special for the older adults who were involved. One was 84, she came for the book launch, and I think they felt very special or honored to have their life stories pictured in the book. So I think that really made it very worthwhile to me. So even if it just touched a few people, I think all of the co-researchers were very happy with this. And I have to mention that our co-researchers were also from Faculty of Dentistry, Faculty of Medicine, and our faculty. So that was good too. Okay, so this research has actually ended. We are still writing up some of the findings, but some of my co-researchers are going ahead, looking at different ways we can build on the findings to develop better educational methods to promote humanistic dentists. This is the book that we created in the project. It's a compilation of the life stories of the older adults that the dental students created. So what I think is interesting is you can see all the 8 older adults who took part, and also the dental students. And if you look inside, you can see what they created, like for example, a multimodal bio and a story of their life. So I think this was one of the interesting outputs from this project. Okay, so when I was creating the book, I didn't really think about it that much. It was a research output, but now looking back, I can see that it was actually quite an interesting and important part of my research journey, especially this being my first project. It's actually an e-book, but we printed some copies to give the older adults. So I do feel quite satisfied looking at it, and I think it's quite unique that it's got the younger and older generation, so I'm kind of happy about that.